What's the technical insight or pattern you develop from doing these migrations?
So for the one that I'm dealing with this greenfield migration, with all these different upstream systems with different authorization models, and really this new project, one of the things that helped the most is actually being very clear about which part is responsible for what, clearly separating the boundaries. Because at first it seemed, oh, we're going to stick Oso in here, and it's going to have all these requests flowing through it, and actually pulling back from that and saying, Oso can answer questions, and if you give it the information about the authorization that it needs to actually answer those questions, like going back to what I was saying before about asking, what do I need to prove that this user has access to this thing, right? And then you work backwards from there and you say, okay, I need this information, and it's also this policy applied on top. So the thing that helped a lot was being very clear about that separation. It actually helped think about where to fit it in the application, because we weren't kind of thinking about building the application and the authorization at the same time. Also kind of helped with thinking about, okay, we have this upstream system. When we want to map it, now we're thinking a little more clearly, like this sink is syncing authorization data, this sink is syncing the actual application data. They're separate, separate processes. So, but this is more a greenfield new app kind of situation.
I think. Go ahead.
This is maybe kind of Oso specific, but something that I've been enjoying is we have a tool called the Oso Dev Server that you can run in a container just like you would with Postgres or Redis or any other kind of dependency that you have, integration tests. So that's something that I've been using that gives me a little bit more confidence that things are working from end to end.
Just like the biggest technical pattern I've seen is dual writes and dual reads. Dual reads are the old system, what decision it made, Oso, and what decision it made. Comparing the two, having a flag in that dual reads abstraction for whether which one gets enforced. Dual writes is similarly, sometimes you just have to push data directly into a database as well as directly into Oso, and just having something abstracted out so that you can solve for consistency, what happens if one of the write fails and stuff, one time across the code base.
When you're talking about dual writes, do you treat one place as the source of truth, or are they actually writing to both? Is the sync happening in one direction?
Yeah, I mean, I like the concept of having a single source of truth, even if the data lives in two places. Mm-hmm. You just have to have a discipline / idea about which one you have chosen as acting as the source of truth. Mm-hmm. And then often you want to use something like Oso Sync to run nightly check jobs to make sure there hasn't been drift in the data being written to the two sources. And when you are doing dual writes, sometimes it's an interstitial phase in the migration, and eventually you'll just remove the data altogether for your own database, but you want to just have both while you're in the process of migrating. Sometimes, in some cases, it's part of the overlap of authorization and application data, in which case you will want to officially adopt an opinion of which one is the source of truth on this data.